Super Typhoon Ragasa has slammed into northern Philippines, bringing heavy rains and strong winds. It made landfall at around 3 p.m. local time on the remote Babuyan Islands, which is under the country's highest storm warning. The Disaster Response Agency is on full alert, and all government agencies have been mobilized. Some rescue work is underway to clear mud and debris. Coast Guard personnel have been deployed to assist in rescue operations. More than 10,000 Filipinos have been evacuated. Working classes across Metro Manila and other regions have been suspended. Ragasa is tracking west towards southern China. The storm is not forecast to hit Taiwan directly, but is expected to drench the island's east coast. In China, authorities are preparing to relocate hundreds of thousands of people from coastal and low-lying areas in Shenzhen. Hong Kong is along the storm's path. The city has hoisted a T1 storm signal as the Asian financial hub braces for one of its strongest storms in years. That warning could be upgraded to T3 this evening. The hub is also bracing for transport disruptions, with operations at the airport set to be scaled down. Hong Kong-based Cathay Pacific says more than 500 flight cancellations are expected. And for more, CNA senior correspondent Wong joins us live from Hong Kong. Ragasa is expected to be one of the strongest storms to hit the city, but Hong Kong is not unfamiliar with typhoons. How is the city preparing for this arrival? Is it different from previous storm preparations? And how are the residents taking to the public advisories?
Hong Kong is as prepared as it can be. As you mentioned, they are no strangers to typhoon, as it happens on an annual basis between June and early October. But this time around, what is different is that it is set to be a lot more intense. This particular Super Typhoon Ragasa is expected to be even more intense compared to the last major typhoon back in 2018, where it affected, injured more than 480 people, as well as pulled down trees. More than 60,000 trees were fallen at that particular typhoon. But this time around, well, again, Hong Kong authorities have been out in full force. What they're doing is that they are clearing out drains. They are looking and inspecting at buildings, making sure all the skyscrapers here, if they're under construction, to secure the scaffoldings, the cranes on top of the buildings as well have to be secured. And also, as I was walking around here, I noticed that some of the shops had put on plasters on their windows in the hope that that could prevent any windows from being smashed out from the typhoon. Now, don't let this weather as well as the crowd fool you right now, because they are already preparing themselves for the onslaught of a super typhoon. In fact, a lot of the flights are already on hold in terms of potential cancellations, as you mentioned earlier. Cathay Pacific, 500 flights are perhaps on the way of being cancelled. And also a lot of the systems in terms of the MTR systems, the transport systems, they are also on the verge of preparing on what steps are needed to be taken going forward, because on Tuesday is when they are expecting to have a clearer idea in terms of the path, in terms of the intensity, and Wednesday is when the super typhoon is expected to hit Hong Kong. Now, all the people over here, they told me that it's really nothing new, but the Met and also the weather expert that I spoke to actually said that yes, Hong Kong may be used to typhoons, but this one can be a little bit different. No complacency should be allowed, and also everyone has to be on their toes, simply because you never know what kind of danger will be ahead in terms of Mother Nature making its call here on Hong Kong.
This time, it is a super typhoon. It is something that we have not experienced for decades. So we know we have some Hong Kongers taking the children to the seaside and see the wave and things like that. That is totally inadvisable. It should be avoided. If we do preparation properly, we cannot avoid damage altogether. So there will be damage, but the better we prepare, the less damage and less casualty it will inflict to Hong Kong.
Although there is no panic here in this city, but a lot of people that are still shopping at this last minute are trying to buy up certain necessities such as water, such as food, so that they can afford to stay indoors and not go out over the next couple of days. Now, I spoke to a couple of them, and let's take a listen to what they told me.
少啲出街咯，都擔心嘅，咁但係自己要去啲安全嘅地方啦。
Not at all concerned about typhoon because this is a regular feature in Hong Kong. Every year, we've seen so many typhoons, small ones, big ones.
我都唔係好擔心嘅，但係要買定嘢咯。最慘就係因為街市咧太多人搶購嘢，就算買菜都要等成5個字先可以排到隊咯。
Now, May, just slightly up north in Shenzhen, for example, authorities are planning to evacuate hundreds of thousands of residents. How are other cities, for example, in the Greater Bay Area, reacting to this? How are they, preparing their residents for Ragasa's arrival?
Indeed, for example, Macau, as well as in Guangdong province, where Shenzhen is being located, as you mentioned, they've all warned the citizens to stay indoors if they don't really need to go outside and stay away from the coastal areas. So, for example, over in Zhuhai, they've managed to evacuate about 400,000 of the residents living there because they're by the coastal areas, so they are susceptible to seeing a flooding over there as well. Now, Shenzhen Airport has already also mentioned that they will suspend flights over the next few days. For example, like here in Hong Kong, keeping a close watch on the flights going forward as well. And ultimately, it's all about keeping the people safe because eventually you can't take anything by chance. And also the authorities are out in full force to get ready for any untoward incidences to happen.
All right, May Wong there, senior correspondent reporting live in Hong Kong.